for a special license with a lot of words. So I will be giving my response to them, but my response also raises the issues they claim made them deny me a practicing certificate. And I'm saying I have received with dismay your letter dated the 6th December 2024, declining my application for a special practicing certificate. In your letter under reference, you raise several issues which require response, albeit for the record. You state that copies of my practicing certificate, letter of good standing from the Law Society of Kenya, were not notarized. And further, my nationality documents and academic qualifications were not attached. You further take issue that my application did not attach Mr. Lukwago's practicing certificate. Rather than use these reasons to decline my application, one would expect that the Law Council would have asked for additional documents. Mr. Lukwago is not only a well-known personality as the Lord Mayor of Kampala, but a practicing advocate running a law firm. On the issue whether I bring any special skill, with respect, it is for Dr. Besigye and not the Law Council to determine and choose an advocate or advocates of choice. It is his constitutional right, while your role is to use your discretion under the Advocates Act of Uganda judiciously. You cast aspersions on me, claiming that I held out as a person holding a valid practicing certificate in Uganda when I attended the court-martial hearing of Dr. Besigye's case on the 2nd of December 2024. This is totally untrue. As a visiting jurist, I sat with Mr. Lukwago, who introduced me to the court, and those who are there will attest to this, as the lead counsel of choice for Dr. Besigye, and informed the court-martial that I was still waiting for a practicing certificate to be able to take up my position as team leader. That actually was the reason why the case for Dr. Besigye and Mr. Lutale was adjourned to tomorrow. So to claim that I held out is totally untrue. I do not know where the Law Council got such information from. I take great exception to this founded allegation by yourselves, which constitutes an attack, unfounded allegation by yourselves, which constitutes an attack on my character and integrity and undermines the spirit of the East African Treaty. As a citizen of Jumuiya and a jurist, I accompanied Mr. Lukwago and other advocates to the Chief Justice's chamber to inquire about the ruling which has a bearing on Dr. Besigye's case and which is almost 4 years old. We visited those chambers to see the Chief Justice in his capacity as the top administrator of the judiciary. I do not agree that I need a practicing certificate to ask an administrative question. As for taking issue with my robes, that I went robed, that's why I have come to the press conference robed. These are my robes. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. a state within the Jumuiya, conferred with the rank of senior counsel, I can wear my robes anywhere, including to the market. So I do not see how that has a bearing on the issue of a practicing certificate. Finally, I'm saying your tone, disparaging and personalized attack on my person and character does not bode well for the Jumuiya and for other people visiting Uganda. You would imagine that the President of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni, being a staunch advocate of the Jumuiya, and now it is Uganda, treating in an unexpected manner a jurist from Kenya, and a senior counsel at that. We would expect that the Law Council would use their discretion judiciously in determining whether to grant a license. At this time, we will retreat with the local, my colleagues who are local, because I think there are critical issues that are raised by the response by the Law Council, which actually go against the laws of Uganda and the East African Treaty. And we shall definitely be taking further action. Tomorrow I'll be accompanying them to court. I don't have to be a lawyer in the case now that I've been denied a license. I will go as an observer, and I'll go robed because it's not an offense to wear my robes. I studied to be able to wear these robes, and I'll wear them wherever I want. Finally, one thing we must say when considering an application for a visiting lawyer, I think one of the cardinal issues is to facilitate an accused person to have counsel of choice. Counsel of choice doesn't mean one lawyer. It could be 100. And I am hoping that there will be more lawyers than there was in the other case, because then they are able to study, research on various aspects of the case, and contribute to the case at hand. The charges leveled against our friend, colleague, because he practices politics like I do, and practicing politics is not an offense, because the Law Council says that I'm here not just as a lawyer, but they think there is a political agenda. The case itself is a political agenda. How can you divorce politics from the law? The two are so closely related. Leadership is a political agenda. Issues of whether the military court can try a civilian are so political as they are legal. I don't want to go beyond that, but we'll keep marching on. You know that today we have a colleague lawyer from Angola who is making her way here. It's part of the reason why we delayed you a little. There are also several lawyers from Kenya, and one of whom have applied for a practicing certificate. I will advise him maybe not to rob so that he may not be denied. Her names, her full names.
Hello everyone. My name is Margaret Nangakovie. I'm a lawyer for human rights in Angola. I was invited to this initiative by Dr. Martha, and I'm glad to be here because I think this movement for freedom in Africa is our fight, our contribution against authoritarianism. And we hope that our presence can strengthen our cooperation through Africa as well, because Uganda problems are similar to everywhere in Africa, even in Angola. So we are here to show our solidarity but also our protest. I would say there's very, this savage act of abducting a civilian and bring him to a military court as an act of intimidation, oppressing civil liberties as well. So I hope to support Dr. Martha, and with colleagues, I hope for us to create this movement of protest through Africa and raise also awareness around this case. Thank you.
We received our colleagues from Tanzania and from Kenya. So we hope to be more than we are. Thank you very much.
So you're most welcome.
Leads the team in Uganda. Okay. They had invited me as a lead lawyer from Kenya, but my certificate was declined. We will be giving you the reasons later.
Okay. And all those dynamics and how we can navigate around the same. Oh, yes.
There is leadership right through the chain. So there is no question of saying there is no leadership. The question is, will Besigye get lawyers of his choice? And it is not for anybody else to ask, what special talent do you bring? It's for Besigye under the Constitution and Mr. Rutale to ask, is this the team I want? Nobody else can ask that question. That runs right through.
You see, there are two things I can explain here probably, just to amplify this, to buttress the point. The right to legal representation is constitutional and is universal. And the right to choose a lawyer, as she stated here, is not restricted to only one lawyer. It's a team. Now, it's a critical element of the right to fair hearing. If you deny Dr. Besigye the right to choose lawyers of his choice, more so the leadership of that particular team. In this letter, there are two things here, if you may permit me, Senior Counsel.
Please.
There are things here they are indicating that the Law Council has not hitherto considered or granted an application to a legal practitioner from another country to appear in court in a criminal case. Applications that have been brought, considered and granted have been in civil matters. Can you imagine how outlandish that statement is? That there is no right to have lawyers coming from outside the jurisdiction of Uganda in criminal matters? That simply because there is no precedent, therefore it is not allowed. The other thing is, Uganda is not yet a party to the mutual recognition agreement to allow the free movement of legal practitioners to practice in the courts between Kenya and Uganda. This is the Jumuiya the Senior Counsel was talking about. That since there is no protocol, therefore there cannot be free movement of legal practitioners from different jurisdictions, contrary to the letter and spirit of Section 18 of the Advocates Act. These are all the issues we are going to canvass, we are going to look into, and take appropriate measures and decisions. So we shall keep you posted, we shall keep you updated, and definitely we'll get to understand the actions we are going to take. Thank you.
She remains our leader.
The point is, Dr. Besigye and Obed, exercising their right under the Constitution, chose Senior Counsel Martha Karua as the lead counsel, the team leader. So, as of now, until otherwise, she's our leader. She's the team leader. And that should be made very, very clear. Should be understood both by the government of Uganda and the General Court Martial, that Dr. Besigye has not withdrawn instructions from Honorable Martha Karua as the team leader, as the lead counsel. So that is the position we are carrying with tomorrow before the General Court Martial. Thank you. Keseri International team zigenda kweyongera nga bwe mulaba Honorable Martha Karua wali Honorable Emiliana okuva Angola naye mumulabye amaze okutuuka ku makyenkya tusuubira abagenda okuva e Tanzania n'abalala abagenda okuva e Kenya ne mawanga amalala. Naye obuzibu bwe tufunyeemu nga bwe muwulidde, Law Council yafulumizaawo ekiwandiiko ku kusaba kwa Honorable Martha Karua kwe twasoose okuteekayo, nga ekiwandiiko ekyo kimalako ebyewungula. N'ensonga ze yawadde lwaki yagaanye Honorable Martha Karua okumuwa practicing certificate, ng'ensonga ezo tezirimu kanigguusa, tezirimu kinyusi, si za muzinzi, nga twesanze nga zirabika za byabufuzi. Era ky'olaba Honorable Martha Karua azizzeemu mangu nnyo n'annyonnyola emu ku emu. Bagambye ku nsonga y'okuba nti nno nga East Africa tetunnasayininga protocol ekkiriza abantu kutambula leba kuva mu kitundu kimu kulaga walala. Naye eggwanga lya Uganda lyerimu nga lirina Advocates Act mu kawaayiro 18 bo bennyini ke bayogeddeko, nga kagamba nti balooya baddembe okusaba kasaba nga bava mu Commonwealth jurisdiction ne basaba Law Council ne bakkiriza okujja babaiko emisango gye bawoza nga Martha bwe yakoze. Bayogeddemu ekirala era ekigamba nti bo batunudde mu byafaayo ba Uganda, tewaliiwo looya yali avudde bweru najja n'awoza musango guli criminal, nti balabye abaali bazze wano bawoza giri civil, gino egy'engassi egya gundi ngupabidde gundi, naye si gwa gavumenti ng'ewaabidde omuntu nti guno guli criminal, n'olw'ensonga eyo tebannalabayo mulala gugufaanana. Naye tebaasayitinze etteeka ligamba nti ekyo kimenya tteeka okujja wano owoze criminal case, tebalinawo bakyogedde. Kakati ekyo ne tukitunuulira nakyo nga kyabaddemu ekyebyobufuzi. Kandi ne bagamba nti ne Martha Karua yalabikako mu General Court Martial ng'ate Law Council yabadde tennabamukkiriza. Akinnyonnyodde bulungi nga senior counsel yatuulawo kuba okkirizibwa okutuula ku bba yadde tulina license kasita obeera nga toadressinze court kyotalina buyinza gye bayita audience, naye osigala oli officer wa court, era kyakugambye n'okwambala robes oli waddembe okuzambala wonna w'oboyagadde kubanga oli pleader eyakakasibwa okukola omulimu ogwo. So ogwo tolina musango gwe yajja. Era baogeddeko kumugenda mu general ogenda naffe okusaba Chief Justice okutuwa judgment ey'emyaka emaze emyaka ena nga teweebwa ruling mu musango gwa mu appeal ya Attorney General mu musango gwa Kabaziguluka. Ruling eyo ng'emaze kumpi emyaka ena. Bagamba ng'ennaku z'omwezi 5 omwezi ogw'omunaana omwaka 2021 nti tujja kuwa okusala kwaffe mangu ddala nga bwe kisoboka kubanga guno omusango gulimu public interest y'amaanyi era guli agent, tujja kugumaliriza mangu. Era Chief Justice yennyini Owinyi Dolo n'agamba tugenda kugumaliriza mangu, naye kakati tugenze mu mwaka 2025 tebannamaliriza. Kakati nga senior counsel n'atuwerekerako tugende tusabe Chief Justice musango ki awo gwe yazza. Kati bagambye nsimanya empapula ze teyateekako practicing certificate ya Lord Mayor. Yes, section 18 egamba olina okulaga law firm gy'oli attached to. Ekintu ekyo twakikola nti ali attached to Lukwago and Company Advocates. Yo ennyini Law Council ye yalayisinsinga Lukwago and Company Advocates egirina. Actually Law Council teyinza kukkiriza law firm kukola nga teri licensed. Bo bennyini mu records zaabwe bayina law firm ya Lukwago and Company Advocates ng'eri licensed. Bali niwi ne PC copy eya Lukwago Elias bagirina kubanga toyinza ganti olicensinze law firm ey'omuntu ate nga ta practicinga tekisoboka. Kakati akakasonga katono nnyo kubanga PC bagirina mbu empapula ze tezaali simanya notarized n'ebirala kye bayita right to a fair hearing. bw'oba oyina ekintu nga gwakola administrative work ng'oyina ebirala byeweetaaga, tulina kye bayita further and better particulars. Oyita omuntu n'omugamba tunyonyoleko ku kino ne kino tulabe tufune okusalawo nga tumaze okukkaanya ku kino ne kino, naye olaba ebyo byonna tebaamuwadde right to a fair hearing, ne bawandiika ekiwandiiko ekyabadde ekyakiyita mu lujja ate nga kikambwe balaze obusungu. Kyetugamba chairperson tumuwa ekitiibwa Justice Irene Mulyago, obusungu bwayitiridde mu bbaluwa, obusungu bwayitiridde. Omulamuzi taba na busungu, omulamuzi akozesa peeni n'amateeka, naye ebbaluwa yonna ogiraba ng'erimu obusungu, era ne bagamba ekyasinze okutujja enviiri ku mutwe mu byonna bye bayogedde, ekyasinze okutujja enviiri ku mutwe nga battiimu ffenna balooya bagambye nti bwe tumaze okwetegereza Dr. Besigye alina balooya bangi, sitwalabyewo special skill gy'ogenda kwongerako mu bufunze, nti tetulaba mugaso, tetulaba kipya nnyo ekyamaanyi ennyo kyogenda okwongerako ku ligo tiimu eno ne ku musango. Ekyo toyinza kukisali, ekyo tetukisuubira kuva mu mulamuzi. Ssemateeka akirambika bulungi nti omuwawaabirwa yamanyi balooya kibe yeetaaga okuwa instructions n'okumuwolereza. Dr. Besigye, Obedi be bamanyi ensonga lwaki balonda Martha Karua okubanga yakulira ligo tiimu eno yonna. Naffe ffenna abali wano ekyamazima tumanyi bulungi nnyo, era kisoboka omusango era gibeerayo bulijjo, omusango looyo omu n'agwoza ne wabeerawo ogulimu ababiri ne gubeeramu abasatu ne gubeeramu abana, naye gwe teweebuuza lwaki guno omusango, lwaki? Kubanga naffe tugenda ne tubuuza bo lwaki basobola okukwata Besigye ne bamujja ne bamukidnapping omujja wa e Kenya ne batamulinda wali e Kasangati. Y'ensonga y'emu lwaki looya bw'ava e Kenya. Waliwo ensonga lwaki looya alinnye ennyonyi ng'Emiliyana ono n'ava Angola n'ajja ng'ekimuleese wano, gwe mulungi gwe ogusoose okujja wano ng'ekimuleese musango, tazze ku birala. Ebalala Tanzania balekawo birala bajja wano. Kyetwagala obbakakasa ttiimu malirivu, era senior counsel waffe ye Martha Wangari Karua, kuba Dr. Besigye bwe yatukwasa. Ttiimu eno gye mulaba ne Martha Karua, Emiliyana n'abalala abagenda okweyongerako, obumalirivu bwe tulina mu bulinde enkya mu General Court Martial. Enkya tujja mu General Court Martial, kyekyo mukulu Aaron Kiiza kye yagambye tosumulula bitanajja